Good morning everyone. Today we will start with Joule's law. When a gas expands without doing external work into a chamber that has been evacuated and without taking in or giving out heat, the temperature of the gas does not change. This statement is strictly true only for an ideal gas, but air behaves very similarly to an ideal gas over a wide range of conditions. Joule's law leads to an important conclusion concerning the internal energy of an ideal gas. If a gas neither does external work nor takes in or gives out heat, it means there is no heat change and no work done, so that by the first law of thermodynamics, the change in internal energy will be equals to 0. According to Joule's law, under these conditions, the temperature of the gas does not change, which implies that the kinetic energy of the molecules remain constant. Therefore, since the total internal energy of the gas is constant, that part of the internal energy due to the potential energy must also remain unchanged, even though the volume of the gas changes. In other words, the internal energy of an ideal gas is independent of its volume if the temperature is kept constant. This can be case only if the molecules of an ideal gas do not exert forces on each other. In this case, the internal energy of an ideal gas will depend only on its temperature. In this slide, we can see the Joule free expansion of a gas, where initially the pressure, volume and temperature of the gas is P1, T1 and V1, and after the expansion the pressure, volume and temperature of gas are P2, T2 and V2 respectively. Because it is an adiabatic expansion, so the Q will be 0 and W will be 0, and finally the change in internal energy will be equals to 0. In other words, when ideal gas expands adiabatically, there is no change in internal energy of gas. Some important points are: it's applicable for ideal gases only. For real gases, the expression, the change in internal energy with the change in volume at constant temperature will be positive. This term is also known as internal pressure. Next, we will consider Joule-Thomson effect. What is Joule-Thomson effect? By the Joule-Thomson effect, we refer to a change in the temperature of a gas which occurs during adiabatic expansion of gas through a throttle from high pressure P1 to lower pressure P2. We will now calculate this change in temperature similar to the Joule effect. This is an irreversible process. Assume that before the expansion, the gas occupies volume V1. After the expansion V2, we can think of system as having two pistons, one at each side of the throttle, that keeps the pressure P1 and P2 constant. When gas expands through porous dot, then depression in temperature will be directly proportional to the decrease in pressure of the gas. Suppose at left hand side pressure of gas is P1, temperature T1 and volume is V1, and right hand side pressure is P2, temperature T2 and volume of the gas is V2, then work done by gas in compression will be equals to minus P1 V1, and work done in expansion of the gas is P2 V2, then total work done by gas W will be equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1. The overall process is adiabatic, so the change in heat is equals to 0. According to the first law of thermodynamics, change in internal energy will be equal to negative work done, and finally change in enthalpy will also equals to 0. This expansion is known as isothalpic process. Now, the derivation of Joule-Thomson coefficient. We know that enthalpy is the function of temperature and pressure. After differentiation, we get dH is equals to the change in enthalpy with respect to temperature and constant pressure plus the change in enthalpy with respect to pressure at a constant temperature. The first expression, the change in enthalpy with the temperature at constant pressure, is also known as heat capacity at constant pressure. The equation becomes as dH is equals to Cp dot dt plus del H upon del P at constant temperature. According to Joule-Thomson experiment, enthalpy remains constant in expansion of gas, so dH is equals to 0. When above equation is divided by dP at constant enthalpy, and we get change in temperature with change in pressure at constant enthalpy will be equal to minus 1 upon Cp dot change in enthalpy with respect to pressure at constant temperature. The expression change in temperature with respect to pressure at constant enthalpy can be denoted by mu Jt, which is known as Joule-Thomson coefficient. This shows the overall derivation of the Joule-Thomson coefficient. When finally we conclude that positive value of Joule-Thomson coefficient shows cooling and negative value of Joule-Thomson coefficient represents heating, and when Joule-Thomson coefficient is equals to 0, this state is known as inversion point. This fact is useful for liquefaction of gases through expansion. Now, the Joule-Thomson coefficient and Joule's law is completed. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.